Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking, and welcome to another installment of Murder by Numbers, meeting us another Saturday here in the month of May, 2022. This game is weird. I've really been enjoying this game, and it seems like, for the most part, other people are as well. But Murder by Numbers is such a weird game. I mean, like, not only is there just, like, the level to it where, like, nonograms aren't exactly, like, a super well-known or popular type of puzzle, and the game is based entirely on them. But, like, there's also just, like, the pace of this game is, like, so, like, almost, like, grindingly slow that, like, let me recap last week for you. We got, like, CCTV footage that proved that we didn't do the murder, and then we found a tape of the murder but couldn't identify the voice on it, and it was an audio tape only, so we don't really know exactly what happened. And we found like an ID card that was old to one of the possible suspects, suggesting like maybe they were an old employee and used their old credentials to get on site because they wanted to do something murdery. And like that's like it. Like I think that's like literally everything. It's something that might even be from, like, the tail end of, like, the first time we played the game. Like, it's just, we haven't done a whole lot of, like, crime solving, or even, like, really investigation. Now, granted, like, we're not really supposed to be at the crime scene anymore, so, like, maybe that's a factor. But, like, only insofar as, Detective Cross... Jerry Cross, I think is his name, is not, like, actively helping us to do the investigation at all, because he expects us to go home and doesn't want us getting in his way. But, like, I don't know, man. I feel like we should know more about the crime. I don't know how many clues we're expected to find, or how difficult it's gonna, like, is maybe the next, like, nonogram puzzle in sequence is, like, a confession note or something, and then it's just done. I don't know. We did also spend like an hour last week on one of the optional scout memory puzzles that you unlock by completing puzzles without using excessive hints throughout the chapter of the game. That was really, really hard. I wasn't smart enough for that, and it was the end of a long week. But like, I mean, I've essentially recapped everything I know about the entire game. I mean, like, there's some details that I could elaborate on, but I feel like that's like the bulk of what, I mean, like, we have like, what, 5 suspects or something? There was us, we're not really a suspect now for various reasons. There was Casey, who is sometimes British and sometimes Australian, depending on how that's going. There's the handyman, whose name is like Tutley or something, and then there's like our co-star. Why do I keep forgetting her name? It's like a pun. It's Becky Call, and then like a fanatical fan guy. I believe that's like literally all the suspects, and again, we're one of those, and we know that we didn't do it. And, like, really, that together with what I said previously, like, that's, like, almost the sum total of everything we've learned so far. But we sure have solved some nonograms, huh? Some no-nos, some classic no-nos. Let's see how smooth this transition will be. Not.
Oh
excellent.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that took a really long time, even by, like, OBS standards. There was some implication that, like, we might be having a lag problem. I don't know if that's on Twitch's end or mine. I haven't changed anything. That doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be fixed, because that's how streaming works. But it's, like, really hard to do that live. So we're just here. Hopefully it's not, like, a huge problem. It's really hard for me to gauge on my end, because I have input lag, because I'm routing this through, like, multiple devices. It's not ideal. It shouldn't... It should be better, but it's not. This is what we do. Let's load the game. And our most recent one is from... Why are these all dated 4/22? Is that the date in the case? Oh no, they're dated 4/30. No, that's fine. It's doing it. It's weird. Okay. So like, this one? It should be this one? Yeah, this looks right-ish. Let me check Scout's memories to be sure. Yep, there's the pen pot. That was the last thing we did, and if it remembers that, we're fine. We should investigate more. I've been told that you can be cut off from doing nonogram puzzles, so we might as well start by doing nonogram puzzles, right? It's why we're here? Question mark? Is the corpse a clue? Is that what we're doing now? Okay, we got a couple of 7s in these rows of 10. We got a 2x2 grid of 5x5 grids, which is the way my brain processes it, and not a way that a normal person thinks about stuff. So I think I mean, there should be an overlap of, like, at least 3, right? Because it could be 3... I mean, this one has, like, an extra space missing, so maybe that extends further. Because... it can, like, really only be, like, 7 down from the top or 7 up from the first viable space. So, like, that overlap should be fine. This overlap should technically be less. But it should, like, also definitely include this because it's rows overlap. And because we know this one is true, that should mean... no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it doesn't void that out just yet. Should this technically stretch further? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like this sheet, this is definite as well. Yeah, that all looks fine to start with. Anything here super helpful? We got a 3 space 5. It's only 9 total. What about something like this? 5 space is 6. 1, 2 is 7. 8. No, that's not quite it. We should be able to do this one. There's only 9 spaces left, and we need a 6, a space, and a 2. So that should fill this whole column. Okay. So that does that help at all? Hold on. If we were to, hypothetically, if we were to put a space here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that could still technically work. That doesn't rule that out. We should actually be able to rule out some amount of this row. Because we know there's only a group of 5 somewhere. So, like, nothing past that. So, like, none of these should be viable spaces. Like, automatically. Because the furthest this could possibly reach is over to here. Anything there? Is this something? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we did that group of 5 together, then it would have to be a space, and then 1, and a space and 1. Yeah, I think we can do this row this way, right? It should be the only way that's physically possible. So I think that's fine. Doesn't change any of this. This is starting to look like something. I mean, this is probably part of the group of 3. I'm not sure I quite have enough information to rule that out at all. 2. Technically, a few ways that could still work. Oh, this is actually a little interesting. So now that there's 2 next to each other, this can't be part of the 1, which by default should mean that the 1 has to be all the way over to the edge, which in turn should mean that the group of 6 should be like those first 6 spaces. It seems very likely that this group of 2 in this row should be filled in together, and then this would be the 4. Do I know that for sure? If I made this the 2 in the space, and then 4, there wouldn't be enough space for the 1. So that should be true. And given the way they're positioned, I should be able to do this, but the 1 could be in either of those. Nega was regaling us before with her story of transporting the newest addition to her household, Whitney, which is a 7-foot-tall something wisteria tree. I'm not super good with plants, I apologize. Neko said at least part of her endurance for carrying Whitney was out of spite for the bus driver who refused to drive the plant much closer to her home. I really can't believe that happened. That is intensely rude. Color on the left can't be part of the 5, so you should be able to fill in the 5. Is that technically true? I think that's almost true. I'm not sure if that's technically true. Because, like, so... It should be... I believe it should be the case that this can't be filled in. I don't think we technically know whether these 3 or these 3 are filled in. If it was these 3, then this would be an empty space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. And if we did it the other way, then there wouldn't be enough. No, I guess you're right about that. That would have to be... Okay. And there's no groups larger than 1 here, so those both have to be void. Same for this one. If all the math I've done here is correct, then it should just be these 5 in this column. It's weird that that's already done, but sure. So this can't be filled in, because the largest group here is 2. So that has to be a group of 2 there. The 1... be either one of these? No. Because these 2 would have to be together, and that would have to be a space, so that should be how that row looks? Which, like, drastically limits... Not drastically. It limits where the 7 can finish off. Hey, Demolition, welcome to the stream. You haven't missed much, or maybe half-ish way through this first puzzle. How are you doing today? Still nothing really changed there. Okay, we got a column with a group of 4 and a group of 3. Can't figure out the 4, but the 3 kind of has to work like that. Still don't think that quite fixes these. Let's see. 2 and a 5. Well, we have a group here that ends at this point, so this should be a group of 2. 5. Still technically can go one of 2 ways here. But based on the overlap principle, we're only looking for 1 space there. No. I mean, this actually should be blank, right? Because this is a group of 4 that can only reach up as high as this and probably doesn't. Which means by the overlap principle, we can narrow that down a little bit further. But if we look at this row, this first thing has to be a group of 2. There's no way for it to fit any further to the right. This is also a group of 2, so that should be done there. So that's not ruled out just yet. Based on everything we've done so far, we should be able to conclude that this group of 7 has to be at one of these 2 points, so the far end should be void, which gives us our 4 here, which gives us our 4 here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this kind of has to just be 6, yeah? So we have all the groups here, so the one from this row can't be in that column. Which then means 3, 6, 7, which means this is done, which means this goes there. Pretty close now. So this is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. And I need... ones for several of these. I guess there have to be 2 groups here, so they have to be separated by 1, right? That's what I was looking for. Something to narrow it down. For a second, what am I ever looking at in this game? It's a phone receiver. It kind of looks like a creeper face on a bowling ball. I mean, I know there's some extra orange or whatever, but like, it's just, I don't know, man. Thought it was a lion. Lion makes more sense than a phone receiver, in my opinion. That's odd. Blake's phone was left off the hook. The position suggests he had only just lifted the receiver when he was struck. I mean, in the recording that we saw toward the end of last week's stream, I think at the end of that conversation he was saying he had to, like, call the studio about something or something. Maybe he was trying to make a call, but the killer got to him. More scans, more puzzles. I don't know. Here's the thing. I feel like the pacing of this game would be helped if there was, like, a prescribed point in the story when you would find the puzzles. I know that's, like, more linear, but, like, I don't think the game gains much from the like, almost negligible amount of, like, non-linearity of just, like, scanning the room and picking the puzzles out of order. But, like, also the scans are, like, really, like, super unhelpful. Because, like, you scan the corpse and then you find a phone. Like, it doesn't even help you, like, figure out what the clue is. It just doesn't, like, feel like it adds anything. And I feel like if you just sort of made it, and, like, maybe this is a personal thing and maybe it wouldn't actually help the game as much as I think it would, but in my mind, I keep coming back to the notion that, like, if the game was just a little bit more linear and the puzzles happen at specific times, then, like, maybe there would be a better balance between the actual story and the puzzles. I like both parts of the game, but, like, it feels... the distribution of them feels weird in its current iteration. That said, it's puzzle time again, and we get a full row, and that's fun. Love getting a full row. So when you have a full row at either the left or the... really at any edge, you can sort of rule out, like, a bunch of stuff. So now we know there's a group of 7 here. Has to touch the bottom row, so it has to count up from the bottom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's a group of 1, 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 here's a group of 7. So maybe we didn't get, like, a ton of information out of that, but it's still, like, a stronger start than, you know, a lot of these. But, like, now we can also rule out a bunch of these. The first group on the left has to be 2. Has to be 2. Has to be 1, 1, 1. And then at the same time, the furthest right group is 1, 1, 1, 2. Alright, so now I ruled out this whole row. It's a baking soda volcano, I just know it. This also applies. And by the principle of overlap, 2 of these spaces have to be filled in for that group of 3. Dungeon says, one of his players today rolled 4 ones in a row on a d20. That is definitely some bad luck. Did their character die as a result of that bad luck? So here we have a group of 3 and a group of 1, which means we need 1 more space here, and then the rest of that column's done. This row doesn't have any groups larger than 1, so that's ruled out. These top 2 rows need pretty large groups, so we can't fit any filled-in spaces here. Oh, this is another similar thing. Group of 3, and then that's done. And by similar principle, those have to be ruled out. And then by the principle of overlap, these 2 have to be filled in, and just like all of these have to be filled in, right? That just is 6. No, wait, this is like a casserole dish with a lid on it. I figured it out. I solved the puzzle. No groups larger than 1. No groups larger than 1. Top group for all the remainders are 2. Right. Okay. Seems very likely that these are to be filled. Oh, no, wait. It's not 4 across. Only one of them could be filled in. That feels weird. So this should have been blanked out a while ago. Well, let's think about this for a second. We need a 1 space 2 space 1. So, like, this whole row's done, right? Because that accounts for all the remaining spaces. That's not true down here or here, though. So, what are we looking at here? 2, 1, 1. So we need this, and then a filled-in space. And then exactly the same configuration here. Okay. That's weird. This puzzle has a lot of individual, like, ones in it, which often make a puzzle more challenging, but that, like, bottom row 10 and the big sides really form the picture relatively quickly. One of his most memorable fails he can recall was a player at his table being introduced to the group, critically glitching twice, glitching once, failing 3 thresholds with their first 6 rolls. It would have been the fastest character cycle in history. If I remember correctly, they've recounted a couple times on the Glass Cannon podcast, where they do a bunch of tabletop role-playing game stuff, that, like, in a non-recorded session, like, before they started doing stuff as a podcast, one of their friends, like, had a character die off, and they were introducing a new character into a session, and then, like, the DM thought it would be fun to, like, have them sort of like jump right into action and, like, attack an enemy or something, and, like, it just went so far awry that, like, the character, like, died before anyone basically knew who they were. It might have been the case that, like, they just nearly died, but for some reason I'm recalling it as, like, that character, like, actually died. So that's pretty fun. Okay, so this row needs 2 ones filled in. Technically, those could be... Oh, no, there's no groups larger than 1 here or here. Actually, no, these ones are just filled out. We have all the individual... So that actually should narrow it down a lot. So now... This row has an additional 1 that it needs over its counterpart over here. So I'm guessing that this is empty. Then we need what? This and this? Yeah, okay. It's a happy gorilla. No, this one's an envelope. It actually looks like something. It actually a little bit looks like something. I can guess that one. Oh no, it's B rank. That means I got a puzzle that'll take the rest of the stream. Look at all these letters. Blake must have been going through the fan mail. We get stacks of the stuff every month. What for? Nothing, really. People just want to say they like the show. Guess it helps them feel closer to us. If they want to be closer, why don't they visit the studio? I mean, emotionally, Scout. Don't you understand emotions with your, like, 8-bit processor? Fans get to know us through the show, and then they write to us. Well, mostly they want to write to Becky, but you get the idea. Here, I'll read you one. To whoever wrote episode 6, I hope you trip and fall on your pencil, bleed all over the floor, and die in agony. Oh. That one's not as fun as what I described previously.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I would not advise allowing this person to get closer to you, beep boop, emotionally or otherwise. Here's another one. Mr. Patterson, you've chewed up Murder Miss Terry and crapped out a sorry excuse for a new season. If I ever have the misfortune to meet you in the street, I'll open you up and make you eat your own guts, and then maybe you'll know how you made fans feel. And this is pre-internet. This isn't fan mail, it's hate mail.
Sir?
There are 14 envelopes here with the same handwriting. I calculate a 98% probability that they're all from one person. And they're all signed with the same thing, Showmaster66. I guess maybe this is, like, early internet? I don't know that we know when in the 90s this is. But, like, that definitely sounds like an IRC username or something. The tape recorder's label said SM66. It could be a shortened version of that same name. Of course, whoever Showmaster66 is, they had access to the studio and a vendetta. That must be who killed Blake. But what's their real identity? I can no longer investigate. It's time for questions. With Tully, whose voice I only a little bit remember. Hey there, gorgeous. Got time to talk? This is not the time or the place. This really isn't the time or place for chat. We're standing in a crime scene. A crime scene, huh? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, and you don't want Detective Cross to find you in here. Frankly, I don't want him to find me in here, and he knows I didn't do the crime. So, what are you doing here? Me? I was just, looking for my car keys. Last time we tried that, we found something that definitely wasn't car keys. It says someone who was a fan? Maybe the murderer was the fan! You might be onto something. It says, note how his tattoo switches arms whenever he flips left and right. Ooh, I didn't pay attention to that, but that tracks. That's a cost-cutting measure that we just hope you don't look at. This is why we put a cute floating robot in the game. They're like, always pay attention to the robot and not details. I get that. I lose things all the time. Want me to help look? Oh, yep, that definitely flipped there, huh? Wait a second. How about we just leave the desk and the body where it is? Right, yeah, whatever you say. Did you come in here for a reason? Or the greatest reason of all? Love! I wanted to get you alone for a while. Stranger danger. There's something between us, don't you feel it? I mean, it's air reverberating with the sound of our voices. Is that what you're referring to? A few feet of concrete wouldn't be a bad start. Something between us? What makes you think that? Oh, he's very close now. Because I can't stop thinking about you. I was kinda hoping that maybe you feel the same. You got the detective to believe you're innocent. Maybe you can do the same for me. There you go. That's the actual reason. And then we can go and... Look, you're a good-looking guy, but this is not the time. One of my best friends is dead. He's literally right there. You're right. I'm sorry. I guess I just got carried away. Hey, is Becky single? Okay. Thanks, 90s. Every now and then it's nice to have a reminder that as bad as things are now, they were worse in some ways before, huh? Didn't we joke about having a death laser with Spot last week? Wasn't that like an actual in-game conversation and not just an us joke? What do you even do here? Don't think I've seen you on set. Oh, you know, whatever comes up. Keep my tools with me, and I go where they tell me to go. Didn't you say you were a carpenter earlier? If there's carpentry needs doing, sure. And if something needs screwing, I'll do that too. If something needs nailing down, just call me. Alright, sir, I think you should leave. Speaking of, I think you should leave. It's the Netflix show is getting season 3, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's a weird show. If you haven't seen it, it might be worth checking out. It's probably not for everyone, but there's some good stuff in there. Who's that rap guy? MC Ham something? MC Hamper? MC Hamster? Maker of the hamster dance? I mean, if these are the really early internet days, I mean, hamster dance gotta be a thing, right? Point is, I'm whatever you need me to be. Except weekends, evenings, and every 4th Wednesday. That's when I do my bodybuilding. Not the sculpting of my body, I work on that on a regular basis, but there's a body I'm building in my basement. Please don't tell the cops about that. Mom taught me 3 things. Take care of your body, don't cuss, and don't listen to Pa, 'cause he's a drunk. Proud to say I've lived by those rules every day of my life, and when I have kids, I'm gonna teach them the same. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in that scenario, you're the dad. So either you will have stopped following that advice to become drunk, or you won't need to pass that advice along. Maybe not that last one. Okay, at least he's aware of it. You must be pretty strong. You get in many fights? Who, me? What's that got to do with anything? Based on a visual assessment, you would easily be capable of killing someone if you wanted, beep boop. Hey, what are you trying to say? I'm gonna skip right to Becky, because he already brought her up. What do you think about Becky? She's pretty. Got one heck of a temper, though. You don't want to get on her bad side, trust me. Which side is that? She looks pretty good from both sides. Hey now! Come from a long line of mouthy broads, I'm used to it. Think that kind of anger might have been enough for Becky to kill Blake? I doubt it. My ma was always yelling, but she never killed nobody. Though that would explain where Pa went. I was gonna make a joke, but it was pretty dark. What do you think of John Redfern? Could he be the killer? Noodle arms back there? No way. Then again, when I was at school, a scrawny nerd knocked some other kid out with a chessboard. So yeah, if John had a weapon or something, I guess it's possible. And the detective? What do you think of him? Ain't much like the detectives on TV, is he? What you really need is someone like them on, what's that show again? Murder something something. Misty something mistletoe? Miss Terry? Murder Miss Terry? Yeah, that's right. Bet they'd sort this whole mess right out. Dude? Say, now that I mention it, you kind of look like one of the chicks on that show. Anyone ever tell you that? Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. Alright, let's probably present his ID card. Because last time, somehow or other, we determined that this had to be his ID card. And I like that you can't tell just by looking at it. Because it's like all pixels, so you can't read the text on it. Oh, maybe we could, and we're just asking unrelated questions about why it looked wrong. How come you got an ID with my face on it? Ain't that identity theft or something? This is your ID card. We found it in the break room. Shoot, I must have dropped it. Really gotta get new pockets for these overalls. How long have you worked here? Not long. A few weeks, I guess. Interesting that no one's fazed by the flying robot. Really? Bill said this ID card design is old. Like a decade old. 10 years is so old. I have more than 1 decades. Mr. Generic Name, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well on this Saturday. I don't know what to tell you. That's the one they gave me when I started here. Come on, baby, you know you can trust me. Okay. What else would I ask him about? I guess the screwdriver. I forget if he said it was his and just let us keep it, or if he said it wasn't his. I guess it was his. Did you want your screwdriver back? Huh? Oh, that's where my screwdriver went. I thought I'd lost it, even though I'm pretty sure you earlier said that you were gonna borrow it or whatever. You did lose it, and then we found it. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's cool. Consider it a gift. Thanks. I hate it. Okay. I mean, look, I didn't play video games with, like, dialogue options not to do the weirdest, most uncomfortable one basically every time. Let's show him this not card key tampon. The heck is that? Some kind of fancy earplug? Got my own, thanks. Okay. Maybe we could ask him about the medical report in context of, like, what he was doing at the time of death. Nope. What about... I don't know. Most of these don't feel like they're connected to him, really. We showed him our attorney badge yet? No, we're not an attorney. We just play a detective on TV. Here's an unexpected result. We showed him the hair dye. I think Blake's killer dyed their hair as part of a disguise. Do you... Me? Dye my hair? Baby, I'm young. I'm virile. Do you see any grays up on my head? Well, no, but come to think of it, if you have an ID that's older than the time frame you've been working here, maybe you knocked someone out and then, like, dyed your hair to look like the ID card of someone who worked here longer. Also, of all the people here, to me, you seem most inherently suspicious. Well, no, but didn't think so. You're only as old as you feel. That's what Gramps used to say. Does this guy have any thoughts that weren't handed down through his family at all? Though he died at bungee jumping at age 92, so take that with a grain of salt. I guess we could show the mail. Found these letters on Blake's desk. You ever written to the studio? It's kind of embarrassing, but I don't really write much. Mostly stick to invoices and Christmas cards. Even then, I make mistakes. One Christmas, I accidentally sent bright red lingerie to the hardware store instead of my girl at the time. That kind of seems like something Date would do. Would have been fine, except she woke up on Christmas morning to an invoice for 14 feet of plywood. And she still hasn't paid. I mean, you know that's wrong, right? Like, you know that a mistake was made. Why are you still expecting her to pay the invoice? Did the store ever pay the invoice? Did they send you photos? What about this name, Showmaster66? Do you recognize it? What's weird is... you would think they'd go straight for Showmaster69, right? Because that's like a really nice username. Sounds like something Date would do intentionally. Yeah, it does. That's a name? Sounds more like an exercise bike. I'm not really sure what it wants us to ask about, so we're probably just gonna ask him about everything. Maybe it was taken, but these are the early days of the internet. I guess it's possible, but then don't you think you just move on to a different, like, username and then make sure it was super nice? I mean, he can't possibly have anything to say about the phone. Probably not. The tape recorder? Maybe there's some insight to be gleaned from asking about the tape recorder, because it has a tape of, like, the crime. This tape recording has the audio of Blake's death. Someone was trying to blackmail him. I need answers, Tully. Where were you at 4:30 p.m. today? I can't do this in terms of the death report, but I could do it in terms of... It's fine. I don't really keep track of time most days. I think I was working on set. Do you have any proof? What do you think all these tools are for? I ain't here to build a dollhouse. That wasn't very helpful. I've really asked him about most of the things that make any sense in my inventory. What about this apple? What about the vents? No, already did actually mostly everything. What about the ventilation map? What about this toy? Wait, isn't that literally everything? No, maybe I didn't do the CCTV tape? Coffee? Didn't I do all of them? Ask him about this, and then I think I did literally everything, didn't I? Does that mean I have to go somewhere else now? All these tools, I only see one tool here. Yeah, that's pretty fair, Ditto. Guess I'll go to the office. Can I do... Nope, I'm in the office. Oh, do I have a new question? No, that's just present evidence. Okay. This one, the actual one I meant to do. I guess I have new things I could show KC. No, I pressed the button. Let's start with the tape recorder. I feel like he'll have emotions. Okay, okay, so we're all being held here under suspicion of murder. And, you know, we've communally decided, like, it'd be nice to figure out who did the murder so we could go home. I'm like, here's a tape recording of the murder, and he's like, I couldn't care less about that. Actually, it's more like, couldn't care less about that. How about the hate mail? No. The phone? No. The hair dye? I guess he's like a stylist, right? Maybe he's got thoughts about that. Can you tell me anything about this bottle? Where did you get this? This is color brand hair dye. Trust me, Anna. You don't want that stuff anywhere near your head. Bill found it in Blake's... Bill found it in Blake's office. Not a product you'd recommend, I take it? Be better off using spray paint. Threw all that trash out years ago. And I have been very strict with all suppliers. I spent a long time establishing the painful ways it could be inserted into the sales guy if they tried to flog me anymore. So, someone else must have brought it in. This could belong to the killer. And its fingerprints are no longer useful. If you ask me, it'd have to be a psycho to use that stuff. But why would a murderer need hair dye? A quick disguise, maybe? Screams! Oh, wait, what was that? I think it was Becky. It sounded like it came from the set. Do you think she found another body? Oh no, that's Casey. You think she found another body? You'd better go check. Me? Well, I would love to be your backup. But, I should probably stay here. In case the killer tries to hide in the fridge. Location unlocked set. Okay. How strange. This room doesn't seem to be finished. It's a TV set, Scout. This is where we film Murder Mystery? Becky? Are you here? Get away from me, you freak! I said get away from me! What's going on? Ah! Don't sneak up on me like that, you idiot! Are you okay? Is someone else... Oh crap, he's coming this way! I'm getting out of here! If he asks, you didn't see me, got it? Is it the fan? Also, is like everyone out of the room that they're supposed to be in now except KC? Is he the only one there? Becky, please, I just want to read you something. Oh, hi, Honor. Say, did Becky come this way? Oh God, why is bottom one an option? That's not cool. That's not cool for anyone involved. Literally no one involved is that cool for. I don't know if this influences the story, but like, Becky kind of sucks, and I'm tempted to be like, she's just here.
Daddy does not approve.
It's not a cool thing to do. I'll be cool. No, I don't think so. Ah, dang it. Guess I'll just have to wait here in case she comes back. I have questions. I can't believe it. I'm really here on the set. Why are you here? What are you doing here? Why did Becky scream like that? Well, I guess I surprised her. Never realized TV studios were so dark. We're just standing around in the dark on an empty set? Not just any empty set. This is the actual set where Murder Mysteries filmed. Yeah, it was. So you, watch the show that you're wearing a shirt for and talk about incessantly? Absolutely. Miss Terry, Becky, is pretty much my idol. Don't get me wrong, I love your character too. Miss Terry and Detective Oates are the greatest TV detectives of all time. Thanks, John. It's a shame it's all over. Over? You don't think they'd cancel it for Ghost? How can we carry on without Blake? He was the one who brought us all together. It was his show as much as anyone's. But you have to keep going. Think of it as a tribute to him. A memorial season. Wouldn't that be the best way to honor his work? Even if we wanted to, there'd be no Detective Oates. One of the last things Blake did was cancel my contract for next season. You're kidding! You can't have Terry without Oates, it's ridiculous! You think that's ridiculous? Wait till you're about the talking poodle. As soon as I get home, I'm posting on alt.tv.missterry about this. There'll be angry letters, black faxes, riots! You really want Becky to like you, huh? She's so cool. I wish she'd talk to me. No matter what I say, she looks at me like I'm something nasty she stepped in. I don't understand. Becky has shown no signs of interest in you, but you keep trying. Because she's Miss freaking Terry. I might have no chance, but I gotta try. Even if she tells me to go to heck. Well, at least she spoke to me. I can't decide if this is sweet or just creepy, but no, it's mostly creepy. There's like a sweet sentiment in there buried in like a cape of creeps. Creepy cape? Creepy crepe cape? You don't happen to know if she's into poetry, do you? I don't think so. Why? No reason. What do you think about Tully? He did the murder, right? He's such a jerk, all muscle and no brains. And the way he's flirting with Becky makes me sick. I'm trying to find a murderer. He's big enough to do it, and he's stupid enough to not hide properly either. Why do women always go for meatheads like him when there's good guys like me waiting to be given a chance? I don't know. Maybe if you respected them as people instead of acting like they owe you something, that'd be a good start. Oh, sure. And what would you know about it? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you. All this murder stuff has me pretty tense. Tape recorder? Oh. Where did you get that? I mean, I've seen a cassette recorder before. There's nothing special about that one that I'm missing. Quite the opposite. The recording quality was so bad that most of the audio is unintelligible. What? Oh man, I knew I shouldn't have... Shouldn't have what? Shouldn't have told you how much of a fan I am of the show. You're trying to sell me some cheap tape recorder just because you played Detective Oates? I've never been so insulted in my life. This guy owns every Miss Terry collectible. He'll probably buy any old crap. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I wanted to know if you recognize it, and you clearly do. Well, okay then. Never seen it before. Hair dye? Do you dye your hair, John? Well, I've thought about dyeing it some kind of wild color. Wouldn't that be crazy? And I decided not to. People might think I'm some kind of pop star, and I don't want that kind of attention. Plus, my mom said it's really bad for your hair. Is he also Showmaster 66? Any of these letters look familiar to you? No, why would they? Just a wild guess. You probably sent fan mail before, right? Bet you know your address by... I bet you know our address by heart. I've also memorized the studio phone and fax numbers, and my 10-digit membership code to Miss Terry's Junior Investigators Club. But I haven't sent any fan mail recently, and who signed these so-called letters anyway? You won't find my name at the bottom. True, they're signed by Showmaster 66. That's a pretty cool handle, but I don't recognize it. So, we found a stack of hate mail and an audio tape, both in the room where Blake was murdered. And analysis suggests that both these things belong to the same person, Showmaster 66. At the same time, the recording tells us that Blake was killed because someone wanted to fire me from the show. There's a 70.4967% chance that the hate mail was sent by the same person who killed Blake. Dealing with some kind of crazy fan and you're big on our online forums, you must know something, John. I don't know what to tell you. Please, Don't worry, I think I already know who Showmaster 66 really is. I mean, he's Showmaster. My gut still says that, like, there's something suspicious about this guy with the weird credentials to get on set. And I feel like he might have had to dye his hair to disguise himself to get on set. And all of that seems to suggest that Tully could be the murderer. And it could be anyone, except probably Becky, because the game sort of implies she's a continuing character, and I doubt that we would arrest her for murder in the first case, and then continue to have her in the story. It's you, isn't it? You're Showmaster 66. Alright, fine, you got me. It's mine, it's all mine. The tape recorder, the letters. You killed Blake. What did he ever do to you? No, I didn't kill anyone. You have to believe me. Mizrahi? What do you think you're doing? Just in time, Detective. I've identified the murderer of Blake Patterson. You're just not gonna quit, are you? You know what? Fine. It's about time you learn this isn't all as easy as you think. Who's the killer and what's your proof? This is it, the moment of truth. Just stay calm and think it through. You've got this. The action figure and the hair dye proves it was Becky. What? What? That's such a wild conclusion. I mean, I don't think I actually have enough evidence to know who it is. And maybe the whole point of this is that it's actually some person that, like, hasn't even shown up yet. But I'm gonna go with my gut, just cause, why not? Motion says, knowing what I know, a lot of characterization is super inconsistent and weird when you look at it in the rearview mirror. It's not shocking, but always a little disappointing in a story-based game. I'm gonna guess it was Tully. Let me see those. Not exactly convincing, Mizrahi. For starters, Tully isn't the only one here with brown hair. Having an old ID card might be unusual, but it's not illegal. Well, no, but there's also circumstantial evidence that you're not factoring in. Alright, I guess it wants me to say it was John, but as suspicious as John is, I don't think he's likely to have killed someone on set. I feel like he's very likely to complain loudly, but I don't think he would murder someone over it. And, like, if instead the situation was that, like, publicly Becky had been kicked off the show for some reason, then maybe I could see him doing it. This hate mail was sent to Blake by someone calling themselves Showmaster 66, a pseudonym of John Redfern. That's not... Yes, I sent the letters, but only because they were ruining my show. He also planted this tape recorder at the scene of the crime. No, I mean, yes, I hid the tape recorder, but I was only trying to hear about the next season of Murder Mystery. I only wanted to find out what was going on behind the scenes. That's the reason I'm here today, I swear. You believe me, right? You don't seriously think I killed anyone, do you? Death threats, trespassing, planting a surveillance device? You better come with me. I want to search that backpack you left in the break room. You mean you're going along with all this? What about Tully? He could have killed Blake, or the security guy, but he's the murderer. Wait, no, let's not do anything crazy. Move it, now. What about me? You've done enough. Just keep back and let me handle this. Really, Detective? This isn't necessary. Will you just listen for a second? Don't I have rights? What's all the noise? John was about to open his backpack for me. What for? I guarantee all this nerd is carrying is a bunch of toys and bubblegum cards. Maybe, but there have been some serious accusations made. I need to see something inside that bag. But I don't... She'll see... Who, Miss Call? What's she got to do with this? Don't look at me. I've got no idea what he's babbling about. I just... It's embarrassing, and I'd really rather not. Fine, I'll open it for you. Wait, don't open that bag, Detective. What do you want? Otter, come get this floating rust bucket out of here. It's obviously malfunctioning. If this is the killer's bag, it may be dangerous. I do not advise opening it without the proper precautions. Dangerous? Like what, a bomb? There's no bomb inside my bag! That's exactly what a mad bomber would say. Don't you dare open that bag while I'm in here. I'm not qualified to handle bombs. I'll have to call it in. Needing the bomb squad for a bag full of toys. This is a new low. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am getting too old for this kind of work. I could do a subsurface scan of the bag without opening it. It's not 100% accurate, but it may help. You could do that, and it's safe. There's only a very small chance of accidental detonation, beep boop. Statistically insignificant, really. This crazy tin can is gonna kill us all. Do a scan. I'm gonna do a save, mostly because I know that this game has some history of weird glitches and things. Oh my god, 15? We have two 15s and a 10 across the top. This is a wild puzzle to start off with. Lord. I'll always sparingly use click and drag. Okay. Okay. And now we could, like, wow, this should be a really fast one, I think. So, like, we know that these have to work this way. Is this thing, like, entirely symmetrical? Let's do the columns first. I think it'll be a little quicker. 3, 4, 5, 6. Space. 3. Space. We got the 1 and the 1. 2, 2. Now we could do the rows. So this is... Wait, what? Oh, I was looking at the bottom. I was looking at the bottom and not the top for these ones. This is a group of 3 and a group of 4, not 2 groups of 2. Which makes more sense because this needs to be a group of 5. This one's done. It's a group of 3. There's the 2. 1 is somewhere in the middle. We'll work that out later. This is a 3. This is a 3. 4. 4. 4. 3, 2. And then we can work on the end ones. So this is a 2. This is a 4. 2. I don't know where that 2 goes. 4. And this one's a 3. This one is... This row's done. Oh, this is just the 6, huh? So that's all of those. That row's done, and then we need... Twos I don't think I could technically do yet. Although... These bottom groups have to be 2. So I guess that should be correct. And then... So this is 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then is this just alternating all the way down? Yeah, this row's done. So this is... That should be filled in, because I need a 2 there. This needs to be a 2. There's nothing here, so this has to be... Statue? An award statue. He stole her award statue? That's more than something to be embarrassed about. That's, like, definitely a crime. It looked to me like a fountain pen. Good news, Detective. There is no bomb inside the bag, although I'm detecting a large, solid metal object. Let me have a look. It's buried under all these sheets of paper. Looks like some kind of poetry. This one's called The Eternal Miss Terry, an ode to Becky Call. What? Ew. Gag me with a spoon already. We'll come back to that. Or ideally we won't. I really don't want to read that. Let me see what the metal thing is. It's like a trophy? What's that doing there? Hey, that's not mine. Someone must have put it in there. I'm being framed! I recognize that. It's a Starshine Award. Why is John carrying a TV award around in his backpack? He must have won it! Hooray! I mean, he, like, almost definitely stole it. I mean, I don't know where it originally lived, but if it's missing from Blake's office, that's where... He must have stolen it from Blake's office. And look, it's got blued on it! Nickerson, he clearly won it. Well, no wonder you didn't want us to look inside your backpack. Oh, I don't know how it got in there, I swear. I just didn't want everyone to see my poetry. I know it's not very good. It was supposed to be just for Becky, and she would definitely hate it too. But now you all think I'm some kind of weird loser who committed a murder. Don't forget murderer. Why would I kill one of the people responsible for my favorite TV show? I might not have liked some of the new episodes, but you guys are my heroes. Save it for the interrogation room. You're gonna wish you spent your money on retaining a good lawyer instead of a bunch of collectibles. John Redfern, I'm arresting you for the murder of Blake Patterson. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. But I didn't! Don't listen to him. He's just desperate. You saw all the evidence. This case is open and shut. You need to go home and take it easy. Get your head straight. It's been a long day for all of us. New location unlocked. Prison! What a day. Babe, I'm just glad it's over. I can hear a cold glass of Chardonnay calling. But it's not over, is it? Not for me. What are you on about? You caught the bad guy? Or did you not notice Detective Cross frog marching him out of here? Yeah, but Blake's still gone. And it was all because of me. Don't be daft. You didn't kill him? But John wanted Blake to fire me. Not Becky, not you. Me. If I wasn't on the show, Blake might still be alive. Forget the glass. I'm sensing this is more of a bottle of Chardonnay situation. Maybe two. You're right. I really should suffer some alcohol poisoning. That'll make today better. Absolutely. You need some downtime, babe. How about we hit the town? My treat. I know this great drag place around the corner. Can we just hang at my place instead? We can both dress in drag. It'll be fun. No problem. I've still got some stuff to pack up, so I'll meet you in the parking lot in 10. Reminder, we still haven't found your car keys, Otter. I forgot about that. Casey, can we make it 20? Sure, I've been stuck here hours already. What's another 20 minutes? Location unlocked, parking lot. Oh boy. Back to city map? Oh, that must be a future thing. I don't know why I even have access to that at this point in the game. I guess KC must still be packing up. Wait, what? Wait, why are we expecting him to be here? We still haven't found our car keys. Shouldn't the thing be we go to the parking lot and we find the car keys? And we still can't leave until we find your car keys. Pretty sure I didn't drop them out here. They must be inside somewhere. Okay. I mean, we were originally looking for them there. So I don't know why we are assuming that's ruled out. Let's check set, I guess, since we've done the least here. Maybe you dropped your keys in here. Shall I scan the room for them? It's worth a try. You do know what keys actually look like now, right? Only one way to find out. Searching for more parking lot tampons? Yeah, I mean, you never know when you could just use another parking lot tampon, right, Neko? Is that a real thing? See everything before talking to people. Yeah, I mean, generally I'm doing that. I mean, do I have to make a pass of all the rooms before I talk to anyone? That's probably the safe thing to do. That seems dumb, though. This is just like a really pointless whole setting, huh? No, wait. There should be something. There's an investigate option. There has to be a thing here, right? A item? There's just no rhyme or reason to the thing you scan. It's mildly annoying. Let's see. This should be doable, right? 512. This space with 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Space 1. Space 2. Should also let us do a bunch of things. These ones should be accurate. 2, 3. Space. 1, 2. Space. 2. Space. 1. Space. 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 So that's a lot of progress there. And then we could do a little bit more here. That should be that. It should be 3. And there should be 2. That leaves only this. Okay. Bottom one here's a group of 2, so that's that. Bottom one here's a group of 1, so that should be blank. Something I can do? 2, 1, 1, 1. If I was to do space, space, no, that's nothing. That's nothing. Welcome to the stream, Count Zacula. A VascoDaGamer on my computer screen? More likely than you'd think. Is this anime Minesweeper? Close enough, Zacula. I feel like you would enjoy this game to some extent. I'm not sure. I actually don't know how you feel about, like, straight-up, like, raw puzzle games. But this is what's called a nonogram, or as I prefer, a nonogram. It is a puzzle wherein you're presented with a grid of empty spaces that looks like a Minesweeper board, but instead of trying to figure out where the mines are, you're using these number clues to figure out where groups of filled-in spaces go to illustrate a really low-resolution picture. As you will see if and when I complete this puzzle, the finished product rarely looks like anything at all, and it's kind of like solving a puzzle without there being, like, an image of any kind on the puzzle box. This is filled in, though. That one's definitely filled in, because it's the last one in that space. Reading House of Leaves, so you think your brain is at puzzle capacity currently. Well, you don't have to play along with the puzzle. You can just watch me say numbers for a while and then do funny voices. But either way, I hope you're doing well. How are things? Now, I don't actually recall. It's been a minute. Were you interviewing for a new hospitality job, or did you get a new hospitality job the last time you were around? Oh yeah, this stream, this is a funny voices stream. I literally tagged it for that. The second group here should be a 2, so that's some new information. Which means that this has to be our group of 3 here, so that's fun. This is... Oh, this has to be filled in. Cool. So now just like 1 floating up here somewhere. And this has to be... A group of 3, yeah. There should be a group of 1. Surprisingly stumped after all that. Can I do a 2 space? Yeah, I can do 2 space 2. That should be pretty helpful. Yeah, that should fill that in. Which means this row is done. And that means this has to be a 1, which means that all this has to be nothing. 2 can go either of those ways. This basically is the overlap between these. Group of 3 would have to either fill in these 3 spaces or these 3, so we have an overlap there. Which should mean that that's that. So that should be that group of 2 there. Interviewed for it, then offered it, then told the current employer, and they were super down to give you the pay raise you asked for. Oh, cool, you kept the current job. Well, I hope that you're happy with the job. I'm glad to hear that they're giving you the raise you deserve. That is always nice to hear. I still need a 1 here, don't I? It seems very likely that it's actually, like, basically necessary for it to be this. It's like that's the only thing that, like, works in both of those rows. So maybe like a 2 here and 2. Maybe like a bunch of 2. Oh, here's a 3. That's something. So that means that this group of 5 has to be filled in. Which doesn't help us sort out the 3, but does mean that these are the 2 to fill out this column. It also should mean that's all done. Yeah, that tracks. And then there has to be a space, so that's filled in. And then this is the last space? So yeah, that's... like, that's our car keys. We were looking for these. It vaguely resembles car keys, but I'm gonna pause here just a moment to let it sink in that, like, that's the finished picture. After we solved the puzzle, it's like, of course, it's a key, I guess. I didn't hit A rank of detective. Hey, you actually found them! I did? I did! As Bogey once said, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Bogey? Yeah, Humphrey Bogart? Don't tell me you don't know Casablanca! He's a flying fax machine, lady. I don't think he's seen a lot of movies. Yeah, you could actually get away with that, Demolition. What, like, this game would work equally well as a, what is this, a picture of game? Or you just double up, and it's both. You solve the notogram, and then you're like, okay, but, like, what actually is it? Casablanca, the largest city in Morocco. Not the place, the movie. It's a classic. I don't think I've ever watched a movie before. You'll love it. As soon as we get out of here, we're watching it together. I don't know why I can question her, but we'll get to that later. KC, I found my keys. You ready to go? Guess he's still packing up his things. Might as well take one last look around the studio before I go. Might never see the place again. Also might find the actual murderer because the guy we pinned it on, like, definitely didn't do it. Went through a lot of great episodes in here, and Blake was always ready to talk if I needed something. Yeah, right, Zach? It was basically an inkblot test. You finish the puzzle, and then it's like, alright, it's gonna say a lot about you what you think this is, and then I'm like, I don't know. Is it a tire? And they're like, no. But now, I know it's the same room, but it feels so different. Also, dude was murdered here like hours ago. Understandable. Many things have been moved. I detect 4,913 differences in object position and orientation since my last scan. Big fan of the bowling alley carpet shirt pattern. Yeah, this game takes place in, like, generically the 90s, so you got some sick 90s fashion. It's got that same vibe as, like, the theme song to Saved by the Bell. Cross must have had a team in here to collect any last pieces of evidence. At least they've finally taken Blake away. He deserves some peace. I hope we don't find pieces of him. How far does the overlap on an 8 go? I think it's 6? Yeah, that should be right. And then... I think it's 4 for a 7? Yeah, that looks right. Because it can either be these 3 plus those 4, or these 3 plus that. Okay. So, you know, we've actually had, like, a number of, like, relatively easy puzzles in a row. Oh my gosh. That's so good. I really like these puzzles. I just wish they weren't always pictures of my parents fighting. Oh my god. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've heard in a while. What else can I figure out? There's not like a lot going on here. 8, 7, 2, 2, 2. Nope, that's not it. 4 and 3, probably not. 1 and 6. Not really? Well, that's it. I've lost the game. I can't solve this puzzle. 1. Is it actually? Is this enough? 1, 1, 2, 2. So like this should be one of the groups of 1. Could be like 1, 2, space 2. No, that's not enough. There's no way to fit another group of 2 above this, so that should be fine. And then, in theory, it would need to be 1, 2, 3, space 1. That's probably enough to get going. This can't be anything. Not that that's super useful. Actually, that's, like, kind of useful. That's... Yeah, there's my overlap there, and then, like, that has to be 3. So, like, that's... Now I got, like, a lot going on. Okay, so, like, that should be top group. That should be top group. This now has to be 5 down, and same here. And this should be 4 down. Okay. And since this is a dead space for reasons, no, I think that's correct. That means this should be filled in. These should be void, which means that can't be 2, which probably means 2 space 1, 2, 3, and it does. I think I can also fill this in because it would be like 1 space 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this has to be void, and this has to be this. So this row is done. This first group should be 3. So there's that. It's whatever. That's a whole group. That's 3. That's 4. Blank that space. This group should be 3. Which means that 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, the first group here is 4. Which means this space has to be filled in, which means this space has to be filled in. This is void. This should be a group of 2, because there's nothing bigger than a group of 2 there. 1 and 2's not enough. 2's not enough. That's the overlap there. This should be that. Makes this the group of 4 there. So this can't be anything. So that means this has to be filled in, which is fine. Oh, this row still needs 2 1s. Okay. That means that neither of those can be filled in? No, that's not true. You could go either direction out to the 5 right now. Alright, let's void out some of these column spaces. That should be helpful. That's all done. Still need a 1 somewhere around here. Could go to either of these, though. Can't be this. Oh, so that means these have to be filled in? This can't be filled in. So that should be true. This 2 can only extend one of those ways for the column there. So that means this is the group of 3. And this is the last one? That's definitely Ditto's parents fighting. That's really unfortunate. Apparently it's photographed, so maybe it's actually that, which is also unfortunate. I did it! I got A rank! I don't know if there's an S rank. Did I do it? It's a Polaroid! Take a look at this photograph! Cross must have missed it when he came to take the rest of the evidence. Wait a second. Didn't Blake mention photographs on that audio tape? They were using them to blackmail him. The photograph seems to show 2 people engaged in some form of wrestling. Mr. Generic Name, you understand me. You're a fellow person of culture. Every time you look at that photograph, it makes you laugh. It does for me, too. I'll explain later. So, who are the 2 people in the picture? Obviously, that's Blake, so I guess that's his... Nani? That's not his wife. I wonder he didn't want these pictures to get out. Yeah, like, duh. Did you really think it was just gonna be pictures of his wife? Like, that would be not cool at all. But, like, it wouldn't be, like, a scandal that would, like, be suitable for blackmail. That's a great question, Echo. What was Blake doing with photos of Ditto's parents? It's super weird. There's something written on the other side. Get rid of Honor Mizrahi, or this goes public. I don't know why I have such trouble, like, It's probably just that there's, like, not a ton of contrast with the name, so I have a tendency to skim it. That confirms it. Blake was blackmailed into firing me. Detective Cross can add that to the list of charges against John. I just don't get why he hated me so badly. According to his letters, he was upset about recent episodes of the show. True, but he was so excited to meet me and Becky. He didn't seem to hate me at all. Just doesn't make sense. Honor, wait, I just ran a comparison on the writing from the back of the photograph. It doesn't match the handwriting on John's letters. Oh my god. What? Why? Why? Just as almost every single person in this case has a 5-letter name except KC. Oh god, that hurts my brain. Stop it. I feel like that knowledge right now is like some cosmic horror stuff. Just like I've like written some unknowable I've read some unknowable eldritch text now that I have that information. Maybe his mom wrote the blackmail for him. I suppose that is possible. Shall we tell Detective Cross to arrest Mrs. Redfern? I was kidding, Scout. But if John didn't take this photo... maybe he's not the killer after all! You have to take this to Detective Cross. Blake's murderer is still out there. I'm not sure, like, handwriting analysis from range from a floating robot is admissible in court, to be honest with you. So, just to be sure, I've, like, finished scanning all of these places, right? Okay. Okay, I'll be back to you. I'll talk to you for it's fine. Okay. And then, there shouldn't be anyone in the parking lot, right? Oh, is there? Is there now? There you are. Can't wait to pour drinks, put on some music, and relax. Maybe we can still salvage what's been, let's face it, a bloody awful day. I think that can't wait. You're flaking on me? Sorry, I need to talk to Detective Cross. I found something and I think John is innocent of crimes. Oh, that's actually a good point. Dodo says he mentions that because that might be part of why I'm skimming over the names as frequently as I am, because all the names at a glance seem roughly the same, at least in terms of, like, length. Yeah, I think that's probably true, Zacula, that handwriting analysis in general probably isn't admissible in court. It's, like, pretty difficult to, like, confidently, like, conclude things from it. Don't worry about him, he'll be fine in a jail cell for one night. It'll just remind him of his basement. I'm being serious, Casey, I feel terrible. Convinced Cross to arrest him, and now he's out there on his own, probably handcuffed to a table. How would you like it? Not exactly my scene, but someone says I should be less picky. Sorry, I don't mean to be such a rude dude. It's just I've barely seen you outside of work lately. I miss our catch-ups. I know, divorce isn't as simple as they make it seem on TV. There's always something to sign or some lawyer to talk to, and they're always showing you their badge for some reason. How about tomorrow? Can we do the whole drinks and music thing and maybe watch a movie? Would you believe Scout's never seen Casablanca? I mean, yes, because he's a robot. Like, why is that hard to understand? Is that really that confusing? Play it again, Scout. I'm sorry, Casey. I lack equipment necessary. Oh, no, I didn't mean... You know what? Don't worry about it. You two had better go free your little lost boy. If he is innocent, he needs someone like you on his side to show him the way back to Neverland. New location discovered. LAPD precinct number 13. Alright, let me go real quick. Just question Becky for reasons. Hi, Becky. Oh, hey, Honora. John will be down at the station by now. I wonder how the interrogation's going. I was onto him from the start. As soon as he came into the break room, I was like, he's the murderer, even though I didn't know that a murder had been committed yet. Seriously, Honor, sometimes it's exhausting being right all the time. Yeah, it must be just awful. I'm so sorry for you. It's so unfair. Everyone knows the show is ruined now that Blake's gone, so I'll probably never get my Starshine Award, and I miss my party. This day has been a total disaster. I just want it to be over. You could make the party, maybe. I don't know. You know we're free to leave, right? Probably make the party? I could, but I've already missed the paparazzi opening window. It would just be a waste of time. They went to these parties to meet people, not just to be photographed. You think getting anywhere in Hollywood is about networking? It's all about the column inches, Honor. It's a weird way of putting that. You go to a party, and get snapped looking glam on the way in, then get snapped again on the way out, making sure not to look too sloppy, of course. Get a snap the next day with a giant coffee and huge sunglasses, and you got a double page spread in celeb life. Or you could just... oh, it's still Becky. Or you could just, like, marry some rich guy and step over all the people who you spent years to working towards their dream. But, you know, you'd know more about that than me. The Starshine Awards. Why are you so obsessed with that award? You know you're a good actress. You don't need an award to prove it. That award is my dream. I've wanted to win Best Actress since I was a little girl, and I'm not gonna give up now. Don't you think it's a little... It's really hard for me. The names all have 5 letters. Ditto gave me an out. I don't know what to say. Don't you think it's a little unhealthy to focus on it the way you do? It's healthy to have goals, Honor. I know I'm a good actress, but I want everyone else to know. I want to be able to shove that award in their faces and say, look at my award, see? Look at it. Look at my award. Smell it. Smell the award. Yeah, that sounds like totally cool and normal. Let me show her my car keys real quick. Oh, I thought she'd have a more interesting comment than that. Let me show her this Starshine Award she can't have. Hey, is that a Starshine Award? Let me see it. Oh, it's just for best new show. Forget it. She might have something funny to say about the hair dye. Hey, watch it. One slip and I'll end up a brunette. Let's show her illicit photos. Hey, I just found this Polaroid of Blake. Did you know he was having an affair? No, but I can't say I'm surprised. He never did keep his promises. Like the time he promised me I'd win Best Actress in my first year on the show? She complained about the toy before, right? That's how we got into that argument? Yeah, I'm good. I don't feel like I need anything else from her. Let's talk to KC, I guess? Thought you were running off to save John. Sure you don't mind? It's fine. This is just the downside of being friends with someone who's nice, I suppose. Hey, I balance you out. I'm the yin to your yang, the sunny to your Cher. Are you trying to imply that Cher isn't the nice one? Careful, or there might be another murder in the cards today. What about you? What are you gonna do now? I'm booked to work a photo shoot tomorrow afternoon. Murder Miss Terry might be on summer break, but this guy here sure isn't. You're in demand. My acting coach always used to say to book all the jobs you can because one day there won't be any. Oh, was that supposed to be KC? I thought that was... No, wait, didn't that include the text? I guess he's just realizing... I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Oh. Sorry, babe, but I didn't mean to... Don't sweat it. I'm happy for you, really. At least these things are going well for one of us, right? Think they'll continue to do the show? Man, Tech would hate this game because, like, fully half the time that you select the dialogue option that seems like a full sentence, you say different dialogue. Really hates that stuff. Oh, you like his jacket, Sakula? It's definitely like a signature style. What I like about it is it has the gold floral print, and then as like an accent, he's got the sunflower. It's a good touch. Oh, I'm not sure. He was the creator. I can't imagine Murder Miss Terry without him. But it was doing well in the ratings, and it makes a lot of money for the studio. Wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to keep it going. Just don't know if I could handle another year of Becky without you around. You know, you probably could get your job back. Blake only fired you because he was being blackmailed. Maybe, but it doesn't feel like now's the time to ask. Oh, sorry, I know Blake's not even in the ground yet, but could you possibly reverse the last decision he made, thanks? Yeah, that'd be cold even for you. Hey, I'm not cold, I just take a while to warm up, but I'm room temperature-ish. Would you like to see my car keys? Alright, I guess I'll just go to the police station. City map. Police station. It's been years since I was in here. See that gum on the wall behind the desk? I stuck that there 15 years ago. You spent time at the police station? I don't know what you're thinking. My dad used to work here. Oh, that could be to our advantage. Having an ally in the police could... Dad passed away, Scout, a long time ago. We're on our own here. Speaking of which, John's probably alone in the interview room with Cross right now. Keep quiet, we might be able to hear what's going on. I'm telling you I wasn't there! You think you're tough, Redfern? But I'm gonna get you to crack, even if it takes all night. Honor, Detective Cross is going to crack John! But if Jimmy cracked corn, I wouldn't care. Anyway, we should stop him. Shh! He'll hear us! Hey, I heard that. Hi, Detective. You? What are you doing here? I found new evidence. It's handed in at the desk, okay? I'll get to it in the morning. But maybe you haven't noticed, but I'm busy right now. If you want to talk, come back tomorrow. Now, if you'll excuse me... I locked the door. Hey, open up. You got the wrong guy in there. Cross won't do his job. We'll just have to do it for him. Let's solve a nonogram. What are you suggesting? All the case evidence is behind the front desk, right? Let's take another look. We must have missed something. Behind the desk? Well, what if someone sees us? Wait, like this whole room with all the evidence in it is completely unattended? That seems like not good procedure. Let me worry about that. Can you try scanning the murder weapon again? I can conduct a micro-level scan, but it will take some time. It's like a harder puzzle or whatever, I guess. Actually, wait a minute. Before I do this, let me do a anti-crash save. Oh, we did it. Close this. The interface of this game is not 100%. Evidence room security? That's for 2010's police budget, not 90s. Yeah, maybe you're right about that. This doesn't look like evidence. Oh my good criping cripes. Cripety cripes cripes. It's a 3x3. Alright, everyone, get a snack. I'm gonna be here the rest of my life. Okay. We do at least get to... 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, 2, and 3, and 2, 4. Mixing things up a bit. Here's a 3 for good measure. But another 4, because there just aren't that many numbers in the world, you know? But this one's 5. And then... 7. And then... 6. And... this should then be a group of 4, right? Yeah, that looks correct. Everything else is sort of... accounted for up to that point. This is probably a 2, and a 2, 2, 1, and a 1, and a 2. 3's company 2, and this last one's a 3. Ooh. Ooh. Is there a 2 between these ones? Yeah, there sure is. Alright. And then... I mean, that very well could be 3 there, but let's not jump to any conclusions. So here we have... that's a 2. Space, can't do that yet. This one... those are both full, that's fun. And then, should be able to do that one down. Should also be able to... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be correct. And then this one. So yeah, that's literally all the rest of the space is down. 5, 5, and 1. Okay. That's something. Hang on, we have a total of 6 spaces left in this column, and 5 of them are filled in, which means got ourselves a classic overlap of 4. I don't have enough information with this row to fill in these 2, although that should definitely be filled in. Which means that this should be another group of 2. This should be just by itself. Okay. Alright, there's only one group of 2 here. And it has to be there. So that means this also has to be our first group of 1. Here, we need a group of 2, then a 1. And then several. Like, I think we could pretty safely conclude that this should be filled in and then a space. Because, like, there's no way... like, this can't be the group of 2. And it can't be the group of 4. Now, I do need to have both a group of 1 and a group of 4 here. So I should be able to... fill in the rest of that row. Probably does something for me. So in this row, we have a 2 and then a 1. So this should be another 1. Here, looking for a group of 2 next. So I guess I can't conclude that because it doesn't touch the top X. Unless we now have enough to fill that row in. Which in turn, this makes this the group of 2. And this should be a group of 4. Okay, and it looked like... yeah, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1. So this row's finished now. Yeah, this is an absolute unit of a nonogram. That's blank. What are we up to here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we have what? An overlap of... something like that? Oh no. It's literally 6, and then it can only be 1 on either side. Okay, that's fine. So, according to this, our first group should be a 1, which then in turn means that this is the filled-in space here. It doesn't let us deduce the 6 yet. Got about half the puzzle done, and I couldn't even begin to tell you what I think it's gonna look like when it's done. And by look like, I mean, like, what it's supposed to actually be in reality. Alright, what's the next angle I want to take here? So... yeah, I guess these can be filled in. So that's got to be a group of 2, and that also has to be a group of 2. This first group has to be 5, which means all the remaining spaces fill in. That should be pretty helpful. I wish there was slightly more. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, that's not right. That's why it looks weird, because that's not quite right. But I should have overlap of several. Is it 3 in this case? 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's like most. That makes sense. So we'll sort out the exact spot there later, but I think that'll help with the columns. This needs to be a 4. That's cool. And this needs to be 5 again. Now, this one I can't draw all the way to the edge because I don't yet know for sure that that space is filled in instead of that one. But all the other ones were filled in, so that should be right. Unlike the one above, this one actually has 6 spaces. Okay, great. So this should be the lowest group, which is 3, and then that lets us fill in 4 to finish that column. Can't quite do the same thing with the rest of these. Although I guess with these groups of 1, since I have one right next to it, I know that that has to be the lowest group of 1. Like, it can't... the bottom space can't be filled in because it wouldn't be an individual group. So, like, that lets us rule those. I think lets me fill this in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks like a lot of finished columns. Maybe not that many. This is 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, so that means that everything here is blank. This one, do we need one here? Okay, great. Yep, that works on both axes. That tracks. This should be... those should be blank. Since everything that's remaining in this row is an individual 1, could work out like so. Everything else in this column should be filled in, right? Okay, that all works. It's 1 and 2, so this should be a group of 2. Looks like that tracks. I think this is also correct. And then I need... This should be a 2, and this should be a 1. This should be 2. 1, I don't immediately know, although this should be a group of 3, right? 2, 2. So that's fine. And then I need... Is that it? That's the one I'm missing. I'm missing a 1 here. Or not. That looks right. Oh, and that should be filled in. And this is a 2. I did it! It's a fingerprint. Sure. I mean, my initial thought was like color desaturated like coffee roll or like cinnamon roll. So like I guess that's relatively close in the scheme of things. But I mean, one of the nice things about the big chonkin 3x3 grid is that it starts looking a little bit more like an actual object. New bonus puzzle's been added to Scout's memory bank. Hey, Demolition, here's a quick non-rhetorical question for someone who's further in this game than me. Mr. Generic Name could probably also answer this. If I advance to a future case, do I still have access to the older memory puzzles? I like in almost rapid succession, Sniper Justin says, that's definitely not a fingerprint. And Kat says, that's like a pretty accurate pixelization of a fingerprint. And I think it's kind of both at the same time. I think it's like pretty good considering, but also like not realistic. What did you find? There are faint marks on the award statue. They're oval-shaped with quite intricate patterns. You mean fingerprints? Ah, of course. I'll update my imaging database. If we find a match for those prints, we'll know who held the murder weapon. But how do we find a match? We've indiscriminately touched all of the evidence without gloves on, because we're super terrible at this job we don't technically have. Also, we can't compare to anything else. The police have a database. It would only have the prints of people who've been arrested before, but it might be worth a try. Okay, I can complete this and move on. Alright, so let's... I think we're close enough to finish this. So let's do that. Otherwise, I might suggest with about an hour left in the stream that I try to do the next memory puzzle, which will probably take the rest of my natural-born life. Good idea. Do you have access to this database? I don't have the password, if that's what you mean. Can't you, like, hack the mainframe or something? That's not how networking works, Otter. Besides, I don't have any communications hardware, so I... that's odd. It seems I do have a communications port, but the relevant subroutines are damaged. Can you fix them, maybe by solving a nonogram of sorts? I could try. Attempting data recovery. Wait, oh no! It's broken the whole stream! Scout, what's happening? Varying hardware capabilities. Propulsion online, imaging online, networking, microphone array, speech synthesis, visual ontology DB, knowledge DB, connecting to test server. Hey, what's Jenna sound like? She feels like she's gonna come up again. It's rare that I actually outsource suggestions for what the voices should be, because I'm really bad at the things I don't already know how to do. I'm not sure everyone's keenly familiar with what those are. What do you think she sounds like? Smart, huh? Smart, but not nerdy, because we kind of already have that going on. Okay. Boot sequence looks good. How's your memory clock?
It's stable at 150 megahertz. I'm reading an average efficiency increase of 1.6% since yesterday.
Zacula says she sounds like my future wife. I can see it. I see why you would say that.
Dang. Did I do something wrong?
No, but I bet Tom that overclock wouldn't. Shouldn't it be like that the overclock, or that overclock wouldn't be stable? That looks wrong to me. No, but I bet Tom that overclock wouldn't be stable. Guess I'm buying lunch today. Uh-oh, Tom. Uh-oh, Tom. I feel like Tom sounds unpleasant. Is that accurate? Tom doesn't seem like a fun guy to work with. Maybe I'm wrong. Comedian? Okay. God, that lab coat does not fit him. Like a heavy breather. Okay, so like overweight tryhard stand-up comedian? It's gonna be tough. It's definitely like a voice, but like it's like Psycho says, Tom sounds like my buddy Uncle Johnny, no relation. I have questions and maybe some concerns. You gotta get them ready for another test. They're gonna be here in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? I only just started basic diagnostics. There's nothing we can do if the administrators want to refocus R&D, then... Screw the administrators. They can't just change the parameters like this. Sorry, Scout. It looks like you're in for a long day. Why? Okay, hold on. Why does Honor have the reaction face on? As though, like, she just had those memories? You're back, thank God. I thought I'd lost you. What happened?
There was an unexpected payload inside the damaged...
In English, I'm not smart enough for this.
I remembered something. There was a bright room. People were arguing.
You died and went to electronic heaven? Hey, can we get a consensus on this? Do I always just give the dumbest answer even though my character's supposed to be relatively intelligent? Can we just use that shorthand? Or do we actually want to, like, think about our choices? Should we just, like, always give the worst answer? Maybe you died and went to electronic heaven.
Is that what people mean when they say to meet your maker?
That's a good point, Ditto. She's very smart but sassy. We could interpret her saying the dumbest thing as her just being really sarcastic. And then it still kind of fits. I was just kidding, but I guess in your case that might actually be true.
I wish I could remember more.
Do you think there might be other memories that you haven't found yet?
Why, yes, you haven't completed all of the optional puzzles in the menu. But I have no way of knowing where they are or what might trigger them, other than, you know, leveling up your detective rank or whatever.
If there's more to uncover, we'll find it together. I promised I'd help you, and I meant it.
Thank you, Otter. I'm so glad I found you. And your keys. They were definitely keys the whole time.
In the meantime, how about that communications code? Can you access the police computer?
Yes, I think I have restored that functionality. Let me just hack into the mainframe.
Oh my god. Whoa, what? Time limit? Uh-oh. I mean, it's a small grid, but uh-oh. Yeah, this seems like something I will not enjoy. It doesn't look like it's too hard, but you know I hate time limits on a puzzle. I feel like a good puzzle is something that lets you, like, think about it, so I don't typically like time limits on my puzzles. Sometimes they're justified, but generally speaking... Alright, well... We'll start here, and here. And we know that this has to be true. So that's... Oh, I can't use X's. Cool. So that's filled in. This is something. That's that. This is filled in. Okay, great. 5, 4. This has to be a space, so then this is 3. These will have to be separated. Bottom one has to be 3. That's 1. So I need 1. Okay, 5. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. 5. Now that works. These are filled in, but I don't know which side. 2 and 1. Oof. 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 4, 2 and 1. There must be something else I could do here, huh? This has to be 2. So that's that thing. This feels like 2. Yeah, that should be 2 and then 1. That was a little bit of guesswork, but that should always have been true.
I found a match for the fingerprint.
Well, don't keep me waiting, Scout. Who is it?
A man called Frank Pritchell.
My God. I have no idea who that is. Except that it's Tully because Tully did the murder. Can we all agree that Tully did the murder?
34 years old, prior arrest for assault, extortion, and just generally being an unpleasant gym rat. There is a photograph attached to the file. You may want to see this.
He looks familiar, but something's not quite... Oh my God, it's Tully. He did the murder. Oh my God. It's almost as though I immediately suspected him of the crime and tried to tell the game that he was the criminal, and it was like, nah, I don't like your evidence. Almost didn't recognize him with red hair.
That explains the bottle of hair dye.
He must have had it in case he needed a quick disguise. He threw on a pair of overalls, made up a story about working on set. Even the whole stupid thing was probably just an act. He was there to blackmail Blake.
Which did not go according to plan. As we heard on the tape, Blake threatened to call the police.
So Frank grabbed the closest thing to hand, one of the awards from behind Blake's desk. But now we know who you are, Frank, and we're coming for you, except we're not the police and we have no authority. Man, do I need a coffee. You're still here? Don't you have someplace else to be? Just real quick one. Ooh, did it. Alright, let's question him. You just aren't gonna leave me alone, are you? How's the interview? This feels like a really unuseful question. Guy is driving me crazy. I don't know how he does it, but he's clammed up tighter than a rhino in a wetsuit. Gross. I know why he's not talking. Why? Because I'm not going hard enough? Aw, please don't talk about that. I don't need to know anything about that. No, he's not talking because he's innocent! Are you serious? An hour ago you wanted me to throw the book at him. I've been trying to tell you since we got here. How many times I gotta tell you, you're not a real detective. You can't just walk in here and expect me to overturn hours of work just because you've changed your mind. Everything I've seen points to John unless I've missed something. The case is closed. Well, you missed something. I told you, put it on the front desk. I'll get to it tomorrow. Alright, but with the context, that feels like an irresponsible stance to take. But you need to see it now. What could possibly be that important? I'm just interrogating an innocent man. Fingerprint. I didn't want to believe it either, but I was wrong. I really want you to arrest that creepy guy, because I don't like him, and it's the 90s, and we hate nerds. But we found fingerprints on the murder weapon, and they belong to a really suspicious guy that Vasco knew all about, like, forever ago. Fingerprints?
They match a police file on a man called Frank Pritchell.
Better known to us as Tully. He was disguised, but it's him. How did you lift the prints? The lab told me they don't have a slot for hours. Scout did a micro-level scan of the award.
Once I had an image of the print,
You hacked into the police computer?
I should have you both arrested. For solving your case? Get your priorities straight, Detective. Frank Pritchell killed Blake, and he's still out there somewhere. Wait a second, where are you going? We got Pritchell's address on fire, and I've got to collar the guy before he leaves town. If he gets away now, the chief's gonna bust me down to traffic. What about us? We found the... Absolutely not. You stay here, and I mean it this time. Don't move until I get back. I assume we'll be ignoring his instructions as usual? You catch on pretty quick, Scout. The detective left the station in a hurry, but flashing lights and a screaming siren aren't hard to follow. Unless he runs a red light or something. As I drove, my mind turned over the day's events. Blake's death, Scout's appearance, John's arrest, Frank's guilt. It seemed like the whole world was turning inside out, a dizzying whirlwind with me at the center. Up ahead, I saw a cross pull up to the curb outside an apartment block. Frank's place. There was a crowd of people gathered outside. A yellow cordon fluttered in the breeze. Something wasn't right. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, you know what isn't right? The face of that dude in the foreground. That isn't right. What a grotesque mimicry of the human form. Why are you like this, casual cartoony video game? I wanted to sleep again ever in the rest of my life. Not cool. Not a cool move. I guess someone died too, whatever. He said it was suicide. A note in his apartment said he hadn't meant to kill Blake. Things got out of hand. He couldn't live with himself. You know, the usual stuff. I imagine that Sean was used here just as an exclamation of just sheer grief. Either that, or perhaps you've accepted Sean as your Lord and Savior. Tied everything up neatly enough for the police. Case closed. But it wasn't enough. Not for me. I wanted answers. I wanted to know why I was involved. And then I wanted out. To run away, regroup, and salvage whatever was left of my life. Little did I know, the universe had a different plan for me. Alright. That's like a really unsatisfying ending to that case.
Oh,
I imagine that we have like a bigger picture that will maybe tie together between the cases, but like it's not like a super satisfying conclusion to the first one. I feel like you really want the first case to like have a decisive conclusion. Like, maybe this is just, like, some errant fragment of my time studying, like, screenwriting, but, like, I feel like for the narrative of a game like this, you really want the first one to be like, yeah, you did it! Especially if, like, it's kind of strongly implied that somehow we're going to be made a detective, which is pretty inherently implausible to begin with. So, like, I feel like it would be good if we could at least close the first case so we could point to that as, like, a reason that we've become detective. Goes over crime is the achievement we unlocked there. That's fun. So, can I... Here's a question. Yeah, I can do memories from the main puzzle. Well, what do you think? Should we try to get in like 40 minutes or like an hour's worth of the next case? Or does it make more sense to like pick all that up all at once and like get in as many of these memories as I can, which is read like one memory. It says, I'm so hyper-focused on everyone having 5-letter names. Tully, Frank, Scout, Cross, Sean, Jason. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I feel like you unlocked some, like, weird eldritch horror, Ditto, with this revelation, and there's no telling how deep it goes, and the further you dig, the more, like, sanity damage you'll take.
says there's serious latency on his end. See, how do we feel? Has that been an issue? Do I need to check this again? Probably like after Ditto 2. My god. And you know who else? Vasco. But yeah, like someone was saying at the start of the stream that like there was more lag than usual. And I haven't changed anything, so I wasn't sure if that was true. Because I know I have heard more reports that like people are having like Twitch related issues. That like maybe refreshing might help. Yeah, I don't know. I'm inclined to do some memories. Let's see how bad these ones are. The one for C grade was just rough. But will they all be that bad? Well, at least this one has like a 15 to start with. Like we really didn't have like a lot. Like the biggest problem with this first C grade memory puzzle was that like you had to like really nail down. You had to think like really hard to just fill in the first like handful of spaces, and then even then it was slow going. At least here we could fill in like a few rows and like have some educated guesses. Have you not played more Heavy Rain, Zacula? I mean, I'm not... Given that you did not enjoy your initial experience with it, I can't say that, like, I know that you'll love it. But, like, I absolutely love that game. Also, hi, Arcadius. Did I miss you coming in before the Jason and the Sean, or was that your entrance? I've been a little distracted. Either way, aloha. I hope you're doing well. So we should have, like, extremely significant overlap for the 14. Yeah, it should be all but one, right? Because it's 15 across. So the overlap should be, like, literally everything but the last one. This also should be 4 space, and then all the rest of them filled in. So this one, like, probably won't be as bad. As for Zacula, I know that Disco Elysium was like a spiritual experience for you, so you kind of need a break before diving into like Heavy Rain of all things. Like, oh my god. Like I've played like I don't know exactly how much Disco Elysium, maybe like 2 hours or something along those lines. But like I know that it's like a pretty good game, so it's like. It's a pretty big difference between that and Heavy Rain, which I love a lot. I really like that game, but it's just like a hot mess. No, wait. For 13, I think the overlap actually drops significantly from 14. And actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm actually going to use like the purples there, because otherwise I might forget that I actually have to fill one of those in. Okay, so like... Actually, no, maybe it's not a significant drop. It's like the most amount of variance is like 2 on either side. So it should just be... like that. Hopefully I remember that. 2... Well, I'll tell you what. I should be able to rule out... Nah, actually, I don't think I want to mess with that. That looks a little dubious. What we can do... We got a solid start here. We can do... This should be a group of 4. And this should be a group of 5. This should be a group of 3. 3, 2, 2... 1, 1, 3, 3. Oh, the 10 has to reach all the way down. That's nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We shouldn't have to count that. It's extremely likely, although not guaranteed, that this should probably be the same thing, because it's just like another 10 and 1. But I'm not going to fill that in. Zacula says, I feel like I stepped out of the Louvre, only to walk straight into a rundown gift shop in Jacksonville, Florida. That sounds about right. Is it the gift shop in Florida that has the big wizard on it? Do you actually know enough about Florida to know the one I'm talking about? Not that long ago, I like saw it in like a YouTube video, and I was like, I've been there, but it's been so long I completely forgot it existed. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like all the rest of the blank space in this row are filled.
Giraffe.
You have no idea. See if we can look it up. I don't know if it's actually in Jacksonville, Florida, but like in Florida, there's just like there's like a gift shop with like a really big wizard on it, and I think it's nearby. It might like be directly across the street from one that has like a giant mermaid on it, if I remember correctly. Seems really likely that this 3 is filled in, but I'm not messing around with it. I should be able to do this, though. These should both be groups of 2. What am I looking at here? Group of 1, 4... Yeah, this is filled in. 1, 4, 3. Found it. All it took was Googling Florida Giant Wizard. That sounds right. So now that we have these X's in place, 5, 5, 2, yeah, this should also be filled in. Okay. Thank you for sharing the link, Zagula, for anyone in chat who has not seen this thing before. Oh, hang on. There's only one thing in this column, and it's a continuous group of 6, which means that this is nothing. And that this is filled in. Okay, that helps. But that also means this is true. I think that's correct. So now there's like 14, and so the 13 is all but one of those. That should be correct. It's haunting. It's not like the friendliest giant wizard I've ever seen, which is like a weird distinction when I say that out loud. So let's see. This should be a group of 5. Means that, and then this is the 2. And that means the rest of the column is done, which means we should be able to fill in this. And now that the bottom one here is filled in, that should be these ones, and this should go all the way up to here, and then cut off each of those. Who's the friendliest giant wizard? I mean, I've seen various giant wizards in like various shows and movies and stuff, and I just feel like, I mean, they're all just friendlier than Florida Wizard. That guy's not a great friend. This thing's filled in. So if I filled in 5, 6, 7, and then I put a space? No. Well, actually, yes. I should be able to draw the conclusion that the 7 goes there because it reaches all the way to the far side. But what I don't know is where the 2 goes within these 3 spaces. However, this is overlap. This is way easier than last week's. Yeah, right? Like, so, like, here's the thing. Like, the level of difficulty of last week's puzzle wasn't unreasonable. It was just such a sharp, like, drastic, like, incline of difficulty from anything we'd seen so far that it was, like, a little distressing. And so, like, I was a little hesitant to, like, even approach any more of these memories without being set for, like, a giant, like, undertaking. But, like, this, by comparison, is, like, way easier. Because, like, I was, like, scrubbing through the, like, hour I spent doing that puzzle last week, and, like, progress was so slow. It's, like 20 minutes in, I'd filled, like, 6 spaces or something. It was like, oh my god. Alright, so, this is a group of 4 that should be 5, and then the rest of this is filled in. This should be a group of 4, and then everything else is void. This should be a group of 2 because there's only groups of 2 here, and then the rest of this is void. This should be a group of 6. 6. And then, you know, void. Next up is a group of 2, and a group of 5. If I fill this in, that makes a group of 6, which neither of those are, so that's there, and then, you know, void. So the missing one here should be 5, so that should be that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then, I mean, I have to assume... No, this doesn't quite go to the top, right? The last one's empty? Yep. Okay, this should be a 6, so that reaches to here, and then this is nothing. Should be 9 continuous, so those should be filled in. These should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Just like one more thing to narrow this down, I think. Does this help at all? So I need 1 more here. I need 4 more here. Is there actually a conclusive way to figure out any one of these spaces to narrow this down? Yes, because that has to go there, which means these have to be continuous, and then this should go here. But that's actually 2? No, wait, something is wrong there. This seems right. This is not right? Wait. Oh no, this just should have been voided out a long time. So the thing I'm missing is... that. Okay. Well, I thought that was like a pumpkin or something. Wow, it's a fax machine? Nope. Nuh-uh. Nope. So I don't know how you're not smashing that hint button. I would lose patience with this in about 40 seconds. I live for garbage like this. I'm like a puzzle masochist. So like actually let me take this as a moment, because like you all have seen me play a bunch of puzzle games and then complain about them. But like when you actually can apply logic to a puzzle and then just like overcome it, like that feels great. And so like I struggle with some of these sometimes, and I've occasionally made mistakes and even started over some of these puzzles, but like there's none of these puzzles, including that one I spent an hour on last week, that like even upon completing I'm like, this was garbage, like whatever. Like there's a way to solve these. Sometimes it's absurdly difficult, but like you can do it, and like that stuff is really interesting to me. And I know that's not for everyone, which is why like I will continue to check in with people and be like, you all want to watch me keep playing this, right? This one looks a lot harder than the last one. Like, a lot harder. This should be filled in, right? This is 8, and then a space between them, which is 9. And then 6 would make 15. Okay, at least we have 1 row to start with. We had no full or empty rows last time to start with, and it was so brutal. That makes anything bigger than, like, a 5x5, like, really difficult. Oh, totally, Zacula. And like, I definitely understand, like, being willing to watch something and not necessarily wanting to do it yourself, but, like, I love, like, logical deduction stuff. Like, there's like a big divide of parallel universes where, like, you know, a bunch of the time I moved to California and tried to succeed in television, which I did not. And a bunch of them, I would have just become a programmer who probably would have been just like an insufferably miserable person, frankly. All right, what else can I do here? 9 and 1 isn't enough. Is 6, 3, 3 enough? Because that's basically 12, 13, 14. Not quite. There should be an extra space in there. I mean, I can start doing overlap with some of these big ones, but, like, that's not super appealing. So the variance with... I'm gonna do the... No, 11's actually easier. So the variance is, like, 4, right? So it should cover everything except 4? Is that how that works? If I fill in everything but the 4. No. That means the overlap is 4 on either side. Let me just do this manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, this is correct. So the 10 should be like even less, I think. Because it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess it's just the middle 5. It's just like knowing not to hit the middle 5. And 8. Here's actually something interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, just by nature of they have to be 8 continuous. Means the bottom 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 have to be filled in from that one. Now the other 3, who knows? That should be true. I'm not actually sure 7 is enough to determine overlap on a grid of 15. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, literally not. Okay. Seems very likely that this is a group of 6, but I don't know that. Eight by itself isn't enough. 7. There's something similar here. So there has to be at least 1, 2, 3 space. Nah, that's probably not enough. Ooh. These are probably part of these several 6s in a row. I thought they might reach to the left, but I don't think that's true. Definitely missing something to help this fall into place right now. I can try to guess and check, but I really don't want to do that. Actually, 633 enough now? Hypothetically. That doesn't even... Oh no, it still doesn't. I need to rule out one of the edges or find like a double X or something like that. 2, 2. That's not really it. That's not it. Need something with like an edge to it. Something that I can like really like process of elimination. Look at this. Hypothetically, like 2, 2. I think this technically has to be true, right? Because like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be true. It'd be really useful if it was, but that can be at least 2 different things. 2, 3, and 1. 7's a no. This is a lot closer to last week's one, where just like I look at this and I just don't know. This would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. No. 2, 4, 5. Does 8 technically have overlap? I think 8 might be exactly enough to have 1 overlap space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that has to be true. aren't any other 8s available to do that with. So I can only do something like that with 8 or more. 7 isn't enough. Just need a little something here. Just need a little something. Even what? That's not enough. There's like a lot of wiggle room there. Actually, with this being true, that might be enough to make some progress. Because if this was a continuous 4, that, like, can't work. And, like, all the other groups have to be exactly 4. So that means, like, this should be filled in. Which also means these should be blank. And if this is blank... that means that these have to be filled in, but what I don't know is where the other 3 goes. Could be the top 3, could be below that. This, on the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it still possible? No, there would be no other way to fit everything in here and have it be 7, right? If that terminates there, so that's pretty useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For some reason, I miscounted that in my head and panicked a little. Alright, so that helps a little bit. Yeah, still a little wiggle room for exactly where the first 3 and last 4 go in this row, but that's something. 2, 1, yeah, that could go there. Alright. Anything useful I can deduce from this? No, not really. It could be a 1 or 6. So this can only be... this column only has 6 and 2 in it. If this were 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that can't be true. Oh, hang on. There's a break here. This has to be continuous. Is this just 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. That hopefully does something. Might let us rule out some stuff at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or, yeah. So everything below this can't be anything. Technically, this could be a 1 and a 5, and this could be 2 and 4. I might be able to do something here with the 7. So, like... 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those should all be blank. Doesn't really help me do much. Kind of do the same thing here, right? So this either has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or as far down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that should be true. Don't think I can do that here. Can't do that here either. Yeah, I don't have quite enough sorted out otherwise. 6. I mean, it's like so super likely that this is like these first 6 filled in, then a space, and then 3, but I don't think I can actually conclude that. I know there's overlap here. Oh, that's actually relevant. Because there's overlap here, that means that this has to be part of the group of 5. So, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the furthest down that could reach? Or no? These 2 have to be part of the 5. But, so, like... There's something to be done here. My brain is having an issue. Okay, the lowest this can reach would be is if these were both the 5 and the one above it was the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the rest of these should be blank, which in turn means this one should also be blank. Just by nature of, like, a 6 can't be the first group there. Okay, and we know that this has to be part of the 6, because it's more than 1. Does that let us do anything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should be nothing. That doesn't seem super helpful, but it's true. 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess that's true. This can only reach over to here, or it could reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these should be empty. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, because 1 could, like, go all the way to the end, so I can't use that there. I mean, these 3 have to be part of the first group of 5. Which would mean that 2... Yeah, I think I can actually do this row now. Because if all 3 of these have to be the first unit to the left, that means it has to break there, and then it has only exactly enough space for everything else in that row. So that has to be filled in, and then the rest of these are blank. Okay, and then that becomes pretty helpful because that means 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 3, 4, 5, yeah, okay. And then this should also be 5. This is probably 4, but I don't know. Yeah, now that we've filled these in... I mean, there should be a bunch of overlap with the 7 here, but it doesn't quite fill this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So overlap is everything but 1. And with, like, there being a group of 3 all the way to the edge, that has to be 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, since the smallest group is 3, which joins those, that's that. The last 3 still floating. It's a group of 2. The first one's a group of 3, so this is blank. It's 3, 4, 4. Still don't quite have anything. Seems likely... Oh, no, wait. This has to be filled in. Yeah, because I blanked that out because of the row. Which means that this has to be empty, and this needs to be filled in, which then means that this cuts 5 across. It also means that this should be a group of 2 down from the top, and this should be 3 down from the top. And then going by this should be a group of 3 going across, and this should also be a group of 3 going across. This should be filled in just by nature of 11. Actually, we should be able to count this down because it has a hard edge now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, that should narrow some stuff down, right? That much is true. This should all be blanked out, as should this. Like, basically, like, all of this stuff over here, like, can't be anything, right? That's good. That's very helpful. And since that is true, then this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. Still don't know where the last one goes, but this should fill in the same way. This one's also a 6. Okay. I think that's right. That might not be right. Well, no, it's, yeah, because this fills in down to there. Okay, for some reason I was thinking I was going off middle information and the left one. That should all be correct. Okay, so going by this one, this is a group of 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's funny. Welcome to the stream. Probably not going too much longer, but, glad to have you here. Don't recall if you've caught any of this particular game, Murder by Numbers. Having fun with it. It's a big, difficult logic puzzle. This is super weird. Yeah, like basically every name has 5 letters in it, we've learned. It's a problem. This doesn't quite work as anything. This is 3. That's fun. So then that is a group of 3, and that's a group of 2, and there's another one somewhere. Same with the 3 here. These ones. Done. It's fun. And, thank you, Demolition, for gifting a sub to Ice Bunny. Alright, so this top one has to be a group of 2, and then that thing is done, and then this is also done. And now that we have a top to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, and now we have more hard edges. These are the 5 here. This is 4 continuous. This is 5 continuous, yeah? Yeah, that all looks right. Nothing left in this row is more than a group of 1, so that should be empty, which means that we can fill this in. And that should make this a group of 4, which leaves only 2 eligible spaces, which means that process of elimination says that should be filled in to make a group of 3 for the row. Is this... No, that's not anything because we already have our 9, 1, and 1. So the one has to be somewhere over here. This has to be a group of 3. And 1, still need a 7. We should be able to do some overlap here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The difference is 3. So we need... Is that right? That's 1, 2, 3... Nope, that doesn't seem right. Actually, just going by this, like... That should be a group of 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I was saved from my own stupidity. Everyone ignore the fact that I tried to do something smart and almost ruined everything. Brain is not logic. Yeah, these puzzles are not for everyone, but, I don't know, people seem to enjoy watching them, and also I enjoy doing them, so it's working out so far. So this should be the only one in this row, which eliminates some junk. Nope. So this should be a group of 2. That's cool. This should be a group of 1. Okay, great. Juno says it's someone pouring hot fudge on a slice of cake. Apparently it's a lighter. When it's colored in, I can see that. When it's not, I can't. That last one was kind of tough. Can we do one more, or is that an extremely terrible idea? Oh, and then when you saw... This, like, really wasn't thinking of this, so it's mostly focused on the puzzles. When you finish all the puzzles, you get another memory. You get a cutscene. You know what? I'm pretty sure that I need to go to bed early. There's absolutely no way I'm finishing all 3 of these puzzles tonight, Demolition. That's definitely not happening. I think that's probably just it. I think that's just where we're at for this stream. Well, tomorrow's Mother's Day, and I have to, like... I have to tie up everything from the stream and then also go and get everything ready to visit my mom tomorrow. So, like, I definitely can't have, like, a 4.5-hour stream. I think if we look at the S tier one, we're sort of, like, obliged to do it. I don't think you can back out of puzzles. This is how I've gotten trapped before. I don't think you can just leave a puzzle. Here, I'll tell you what. Hi, it's me. Hello, it's me. I'm gonna exit the game. Yeah, I'm gonna exit the game. It's like a little bit of a short stream, unfortunately, but, I mean, I learned a lesson last week, which is like, we can't take these things lightly. Sometimes the puzzle will last all day. I mean, the last one was, like, pretty tough. I have no reason to think that the next one won't be at least as difficult. Yeah, there is a certain point where you, like, do, tire of hearing the music, even though it's pretty good. I don't think there's been any, like, bad music in the game, but, even just at the start of the stream, I, like, waited until we were recording to, like, open up the game, because it's like, I've heard quite a lot of this opening game music loop. But, yeah, I mean, if you want, before we advance to the next case, we can, complete the remaining memory puzzles. We can devote the start of the stream to that, and then just get as far in the new story as possible. I'm not sure what, like, the ideal way to get through everything is. But, like, that is an option. But yeah, I mean, like, primarily because of the logistical reasons I mentioned earlier. Like, tonight's not, like, a particularly good night to run a long stream, and, like, just because of where we're at in the story. I really thought there was going to be, like, a little more story, because we, like, didn't have very many clues. And it turned out we had most of the clues we were going to get. And then when we finally, like, narrowed down to, like, the one culprit, it's just like, I get whatever. I guess you win, but not really. He dead. But the question is, when he died, was the tattoo on the correct arm or not? I'm stupid. But yeah, this continues to be fun. It sounds like people are on board to play more of it. We'll pick this up next week with that in mind. I think that should be fun. Calendar application on my phone open. Yeah. So next week we should be fine to do. We should have an AI stream on Friday and Murder by Numbers on Saturday, like normal. I believe the following week. I think the following week I'm not streaming. Is probably the case. I think I won't be streaming on the 20th or the 21st. But then it will be normal the week after that. So, like, the 13th and 14th next week should be normal. Then, no stream. Then the 27th and 28th should be normal again. I believe that should be correct. This is a great shirt. Thank you for noticing. This is one of my more recent additions to my wardrobe collection for trying to account for some pandemic shape change. And it's Wally and Eve holding hands, which is one of my favorite things in the universe. It makes no difference. I don't even know what day it is. I mean, I don't know what day it is most of the time. I was genuinely surprised it was Friday yesterday. I was a little alarmed, to be honest. And Neko asked, he dead? Yes, he dead. I don't know if you missed that part of the stream, but, like, we figured out who did it, and we, like, followed the cops over there, and it was like, and I guess he was dead by the time we got there. And he wrote a suicide note claiming culpability for the crime. Woo! But yeah, so yeah, just as a heads up, and I'll mention it next week as well, and I'll try to mention it on social media or whatever. We also have a Discord. I'm not very good about using it. Is the link work? I'm using the wrong command structure. Brain fart. Hopefully the last time we did this, I set this up to use the correct permanent link, but that might not be correct. But yeah, I will try to make mention of the fact that 20th, 21st streams will almost certainly offline, but then several weeks surrounding should be normal. And And yes, a couple guesses in already, but let's just formally state for the record. Somewhere on the couch behind me, I've hidden a secret Squirtle. If you can see a Squirtle, oh, hang on, with the lag, this is going to be a challenge for me. If you could see one of these several Squirtles, those Squirtles aren't a secret. There is one hiding, I promise. Usually it's hiding under or behind some other thing that you can see. So far, I haven't hidden anything over here, but there's a first for everything you don't know. Yeah, reminder, the AI sequel comes out June 24th. I mean, it's gonna be awkward because, like, I'm excited to play that right away, but, like, for multiple reasons, like, I won't be streaming for, like, a lot of July. So I almost wonder if I should just wait until I get back from, like, July things for that to happen. Unclear. We'll deal with that. That's a future problem. But yeah, somewhere there's a secret Squirtle. It's not one of the many that are visible at the top of the couch. So I encourage you all to take a moment and consider where you think Squirtle might be hiding while I enjoy some of this dwindling juice apple. And let's gather some guesses, shall we? What do I see? So I think Neko was the first guess in under Ninja Turtle. Ice Bunny guesses behind Pusheen. We see a couple guesses for Carlos. 3 guesses for Carlos. And a reminder about AI design advice. Oh yes, and under Cool Blue, the 8 down mascot behind Pirate Squid. Oh, it has happened before. It's tricky. Not a lot of things fit up there, but maybe. Let's go take a look. Where do you think it is? Okay. Here with the aforementioned Cool Spot ripoff. Hiding back there is everyone's favorite mascot. It's Banana Man. Everyone use emotes in chat to tell me what you think of Banana Man. That's that.
Giraffe.
Behind Pusheen. Hiding back there was Donut Cat. Showed this off a little while ago. It's a new edition. I detached the cat from its donut so I could put it on this dinosaur. It makes me smile. However, that is not the Squirtle. Behind Pirate Squid. Let's see. I gotta set this up so that this won't ruin my entire life. Nope. Incorrect. There is a dangling Squirtle, but he's been hanging out this whole stream. Unfortunately, nothing hiding back there. Or under the squid space. The only other guess that's coming to mind is... Oh no, there was a guess of under our Ninja Turtle. Really just bread down there. There's only so much space I could put these giant Pokemon and also still have a bread to stand on, if you know what I mean. If anyone knows what I mean. But it does turn out that as the maximum number of people have guessed, there's no maximum, I just mean like several people guessed. Our secret holiday squirrel was hiding under our clawsome friend Carlos. Deco points out that the donut dino is safe if she decides to go swimming, which is true. That is true. So congratulations to my mom, to Demolition, to Mr. Generic Name, who's been riding the Carlos train for a while, and of course Sarah Rocks Aqua in chat. So much good luck in the week to come. What an exciting time for everyone. Demolition, didn't you successfully guess Squirtle like 2 or 3 weeks ago? And it was like a tough one too. It was like a weird one. You did get the disguised baguette, which I think is where you get disguised toast from. I feel like there was one not that long ago. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, thank you for the gift sub, Demolition, to Sniper Justin, and everybody give a warm welcome to Sniper Justin, who managed to catch their first stream last night. It's exciting to have new people to hang out with. Hope you're having a good time with these nonsense detective stories. But I think that will do it for this evening. Thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks for being you. And I hope to see you all again soon. Congrats again to everyone who gets that secret Squirtle luck. Sniper Justin, enjoy your fancy emotes that I care about more than most things. It's a very unreasonable amount. I don't know, beware the banana man. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week.